If your head is full of shoulds this morning, let's take just a few minutes and set those shoulds down right now. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Dream Life Season, the mini series. We're on day 4, guys. Day 4. I am so ridiculously excited for we're almost through this mini series and then we move into the full show. I have so many amazing, crazy, awesome things in store for you guys. I'm giving you guys just tidbit little bite-sized tastes today or this week, right? Of what this show is going to be on the regular. It is so exciting. So, like I said, this is just something that has been so exciting for me. So, we're talking about shoulds today and about releasing shoulds. All right. So, what is something that you have released lately? Okay. We all have those things. Like, first of all, I didn't even say it. Happy New Year. Today is January 1st. So exciting. Brand new year. I know if you are anything like me, you have done 50 million different coaching exercises, journaling things that I need to get rid of in the new year, things I'm not taking with me, right? So, what is something that you have released and are not taking with you this year? I want you to drop that in the comments. Let's be grateful for the things that maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was some type of job or some type of business or work or an activity that for a while it helped you, right? Maybe it's a belief or a feeling. For a while it helped you, it did what it was supposed to do in the moment, and now it's not working anymore, right? So we're releasing it so that our new things can come to us, whether that's a new job, a new relationship, new friends, new beliefs, new feelings, all of that stuff. This is a new year we're going into. So, what is one thing? And if you haven't done this yet, I want you to think for a minute. You can pause this, okay? You can pause this and you can just take a minute to think of what one thing is that you know isn't serving you in the moment. You know it's not helping you anymore. And let's release that. Let's let that go so that this year we're free of that. We have a little less baggage, we're a little lighter, and we have more room to bring in things that do align, that will work, that do light us up. All right. So write that in the comments. Okay, we are going to do an unclench your jaw exhale. All right. So I just want you to take a deep breath in through your mouth, and then when you are exhaling, I want you to just relax the jaw, okay? So it's going to be feel that how that just that kind of it isn't clenched, it isn't tense anymore, right? All right, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. All right, guys. So we're talking again, we're talking about shoulds and letting go of shoulds. So we all have them. We all have probably a million of them. I should have cleaned the kitchen last night. I should have made sure that all the garbage was taken out. I should have made sure that I had all of my kids' schoolwork, packaged or ready to go, or there's all these shoulds, right? Whether it's in business, whether it's in our personal life, whether it's home, all three rings have lots of shoulds because we constantly take in what other people are doing, how other people are doing it, and like the successes of other people, and judge ourselves based on that. All right. So, this is your permission to let go of what other people think, of how other people are doing things, of other people's lives. All right. Because we have these shoulds in our head because other people are doing certain things, right? But other people are not you, and their life is not your life. So I want you guys to really think about it for a minute. Are there things that you judge yourself on, right? That you're like, oh, I should have, this is one of mine. I should have a cleaner house. I'm home all day. I have help. My house should be spotless all the time. And that's just not feasible, partly because if things were put up all the time and not necessarily in spaces where they're accessible, out of sight, out of mind, right? On top of that, there's only so much capacity. We have our largest meal at night, our biggest one, the one that requires the most preparation, the most dishes, the most everything, right? So if we're doing all of that work at the end of the day when you're already exhausted, it is a lot harder to continue in that kind of thing when, okay, now I'm already exhausted. Now I'm putting all this effort into cleaning or into cooking. Now I have to clean on top of that. Like I've had days when I've done that and I've actually been too tired to eat. So I just didn't eat what I cooked. And that's not okay either, guys. So I want you to let go of those shoulds because everybody's situation is different. Everybody's energy level is different. We talked about that yesterday. We're building those building blocks, right? One tiny aligned action, right? We talked about that. We talked about the feeling, how you want your year to feel, and then doing tiny aligned actions to kind of build on that, right? So we're building on those feelings. We're feeling those emotions that we want to feel. We're bringing in more things that are going to help us feel that. Shoulds are not the thing. Shoulds are not going to help us feel better. They're going to make us feel worse. When you have a should enter your brain, I want you to ask yourself, where am I getting this information from? Who says I should be doing this? All right. So you're going to have a moment where you're going to be like, I should have cleaned the kitchen last night, when you wake up and you see a big mess of a kitchen in the morning. And maybe you know that you feel better when your kitchen is clean in the morning. But also, you already didn't do it. So sitting there telling yourself, I should, isn't going to help. Okay. We need to make tiny aligned actions to get to where we're going. If it is not your thing, okay? This is something that I am learning. I used to think that I wanted a clean kitchen when I first woke up because it made me feel less stressed. I now realize something about myself. I actually enjoy doing dishes as kind of an in-between activities in the morning. Okay, it feels like something that I can accomplish, that's easy, doesn't require too much. I get a lot of b-roll done while I'm doing it, so I feel like I'm working on top of doing that, right? And then at the end, number one, like, if you are at all a creator and you're thinking, okay, what are some things that I can do, like anything where it's cleaning, doing any of the normal things that everybody does, if you stack creating a little bit of content around that, and it doesn't have to be like I have an idea for it. It can be, okay, I'm not feeling cleaning my kitchen right now, but I know it needs to be done and I know I need to do work. And so if I marry those two together and I am recording myself, I do a before real fast and I do it both ways. I make sure that I do it in landscape and in portrait. So whether I'm going to do it for YouTube long form or whether I'm going to do it for short form, I have both covered. And then I will do a time lapse of myself doing some cleaning, and then I do an after. Okay. And in my head, that makes me feel like I accomplished something content wise. And I also accomplished getting my dishes done. It also breaks up the monotony of like doing something where, like, okay, I have my morning routine that I do every morning that gets me in that, like, that motive, motion, whatever. And then I jump into doing something like that because I'm already stuck in this place of like, I just want to fly on this high flying disc forever, but I can't. But if I'm trying to do something brain wise, I also can't stay in that frame of mind necessarily because I have to start thinking about things and problem solving and doing all the things. So if I can do something like that where it's a little bit mindless, I can let my brain wander while I'm doing it. I can listen to something positive. I can listen to good music, or I can just sit and think, right? Sit and have my own little things going on in my brain. Either way you go, um, when I can do that, it stacks. And then I'm able to do more things, and I can let go of the I should do this at night when I don't have the energy to do it. And I could say, okay, it makes sense to do it in the middle of the day. It makes sense, and it's okay to do it then. It really, really is. So there's little tweaks that we can do, right? We talked about little aligned actions, and that was one of my little aligned actions that I've done in the last month or so that has turned things around for me and made it where it isn't such a harsh thing. It isn't so hard. It doesn't take as much out of me to do it, right? So I want to know what shoulds your brain is releasing, what you are releasing from your brain. All right. Because when you're shooting all over yourself, you're draining your energy. So, what are some shoulds that you are releasing? What are you calling in this new year, right? Like I said, I released this need to do things, and it was, it started out as somebody else's idea. And then it went from somebody else's idea to, I understand why these people want to do it. And I actually feel like that could be something that I could get behind, right? And then after the something I could get behind, I was like, actually, if I do it this way, it makes more sense, right? And I'm working with my brain, with my energy, with all of that, and allowing things to just kind of happen. All right, y'all, I am so excited. We have one more mini episode, and then we get into the full length episodes, which is so exciting. Drop drop your should in the comments if you are enjoying this, if you are loving the comments, if you are loving the feeling and the support. I want you to click that link below and join our free group. It is the High Vibe Tribe. We are going to be doing challenges and all kinds of fun little activities throughout the months that are going to be aligned with what we're doing in Dream Life season. I am so excited. I cannot wait to have you in there. I love y'all. I will talk to you guys later.